I want to explain to you why you should be focusing on Valentine's Day before Christmas. What you can see on the screen here is a 2026 Amazon influencer calendar. This is something I've put together in a spreadsheet that I'll share it in the comments. It's free. You can download it. It's a Google Drive, Google Sheet folder. And it really is going to help you plan out your year and stay on top of events that come up and things that you may not be aware of, and how to plan out your year. And really, as an Amazon influencer, you should be thinking 6 to 10, maybe 12 sometime weeks ahead, specifically in the fourth quarter when you get to the third quarter. So I'm not going to go line by line, but I may go month by month just to give you an idea of what, as an Amazon influencer, if you're new or if you've been doing this a long time, what you should be kind of looking for and looking in. Now, again, this is not necessarily niche or niche specific. Your niche may have other dates and different things that are important or valuable to you. This is just a general, I'm an Amazon, you could be a seller too, but I'm an Amazon influencer. What do I need to focus on this month? So a couple things in January, right? So the big holidays that are in the month of January, obviously New Year's Day. Well, that's New Year's Day is basically 3 weeks away. If you are going to be doing reviews and selling products and kind of influencing products, you want to be doing that now, even before Christmas. You want to get your videos made. So if you're doing 2026 glasses, if you're doing, balloons, all of those things for New Year's, you want to have that set up. And if you're a designer or somebody that's doing something in-house or creative or parties or all of those things, that should be happening now before Christmas, because Christmas you would have done 6 weeks ago. Anyway, so a couple other things. If you have a VR, which is a virtual assistant or a VA that does a lot of work for you and you pay them, and whether it's through one of the third-party programs that you can do that, or you're just paying somebody that is there's a tax deadline. You have to have your W-2s out, and whether you're 1099 them or W-2ing them, that's a whole other discussion for another day. The other thing is the NRF, right? It's a huge retail show in New York City. It's a big event, happens every January, and there's new products that come out. So the other thing that is really, really, really important in the month of February is China has their Chinese New Year, right? So it's the year of the horse this year, and basically their entire country shuts down. So we're talking sellers that sell to you, people that reach out to you through social media, connections that you have, even products that are made there, basically from, I'm just going to say the whole month of February pretty much. I mean, it is a 3-week celebration, but you want to make sure that you get all of those items before that time. Other big holidays in the month of February, obviously, is Valentine's Day. That's the big one. You can push President's Day. You could push the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is a little bit more difficult because of copyright and logos and different things like that. So there's not a lot of things that pop up because the NFL is pretty tight on their restrictions. Anyway, so looking into March, right, the big holiday that you have is you have St. Patrick's Day. It's the first day of spring. The first day of spring, March 20th. I need you to mark this down or put this somewhere important. In March, you should be, and you can do this earlier. Again, it depends on where you live and what your niche is. In March, you should start doing all of your beginning of summer items. Anything that is green, anything that is outdoor, gardening, yard care, yard games, pressure washers, things to clean. I mean, anything that you can think of that has to do with outside, you want to start doing in March. Most of the United States, by April rolls around, people are starting to get stuff ready for their yards, whether that's planters, potters, I mean, all of those things. Anyway, move back. Next month, you've got Tax Day and Easter Sunday are the big things that we kind of look at specifically in April. Earth Day, you could be, but you can see here on this screen. I don't need to go walk you through that. Chinese Labor Day, they have one day, potential supply chain issues. That is not the same as February. It is not a 3-week shutdown, right? So May 25th is Memorial Day, and that's quote unquote the unofficial start of summer. So now you're looking at anything summer: grilling, camping, swimwear, surfwear, body boogie boards, paddle boards, tents. I mean, anything outside. Now, if that's not your niche, whatever, that's fine. Then you look at June, you've got Father's Day, which is a big day specifically on Amazon, because a lot of the quote unquote gag item, but just like Father's Day packages are come through Amazon. You can find them in stores and stuff like that, but it's a pretty online holiday. What I found as a father, unless I have something specific that I'm asking for my family or kids, whatever. Anyway, so this is also the time at June when you want to start looking at basically 6 weeks ahead. So in July, you've got two major things happening in July. You have the 4th of July, so anything kind of red, white, and blue, specifically in 2026. It's the 250th anniversary. There is going to be stuff everywhere. I am not making a political statement about anything. I'm just telling you the facts as a business person, as a small business owner. There is going to be stuff everywhere. Shirts, hats, sweaters, hoodies, flags, all of the things. Specifically this year, more than any other year that Amazon, well, yeah, Amazon's been around, right? This year will be huge. At the beginning of June, though, you need to start looking at your Amazon Prime Day. It's projected to be somewhere in the middle of July. I think this year it was on the 12th. And here's the reason why, is you want to make a big push to get as many products, videos made, or pictures made, or collaborations made, or whatever, so that you can hit Prime Day really, really big. This is where you may also want to start looking at doing some of your own marketing on your own social media channels if you're not there, right? So I do a lot of on-site. I'm not huge off-site, but that's where you would want to start looking at doing some off-site specifically for Prime Day. Depending on the level of the STAR program that you're in, you may get early access to some of those things. I know this year I got early access as a gold member, and then as a gold member this year again for Christmas Prime Day, right? Black Friday, we got some of that early advance. Okay, so, and I know I'm jumping, right? In mid-July, right? It just keeps coming. You really need to move ahead. Then you've got back to school. So in July, you're looking at back to school, and it doesn't matter where you live in the country. Back to school happens basically anywhere from the last week of July all the way up till the last week of August. So you've got 4 weeks to capture that back to school season. That could be back to school clothes, back to school supplies, backpacks, water bottles, back to school toys, back to school gifts, like whatever it is. And then we start to creep in, and Labor Day is really for me the trigger when I start looking at things for fourth quarter. So fourth quarter is October, November, December, right? So you got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. The 3 biggest months of the year if you're an Amazon influencer, unless your niche is summer. But most people do really, really well that last quarter. So once Labor Day hits, and that's September 7th, and this is going to sound crazy, right? I know people, I do not do this, but I know people that have a setup in their house, in a room. I mean, I even know an influencer who has a Christmas tree set up all year round, and it's hidden, and it opens up in their house, and so that they can film Christmas anytime. But Labor Day is when your trigger should hit for you to start doing stuff for the holidays. And at that point, for me, it doesn't matter whether it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas. Once you hit September, that's where you want to start getting all of your stuff ready for the holidays, right? You can look at other specific things, right? The big event, obviously, in October is big Prime Day deals. This year they connected in with Black Friday. It was basically a week long, and then there's Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday. I mean, so Prime Days are in October, Black Friday's in November, but it was just a crazy, amazing month for me personally. I think for most people, right? So obviously in December, again, you've got Hanukkah, Boxing Day, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. And then the whole thing starts over. I'm sharing this for free. The link will be in there. It's open. You can add other holidays as you want. Really, this is something that you as an Amazon influencer or an Amazon seller should really be paying attention to, and actually set reminders for stuff. Like print this out, Put this in your studio, put this in your office, put this on your phone. You can download it as a digital copy, have dates that come up. If you can get in early on some of those events or those dates and pick, and sometimes it's luck, right? But search for maybe that year's big item or that year's high ticket item, and you sell 30 or 40 of them, that's going to set you up to do some other things where you can actually start buying and doing research on some of these products. If you have questions about this document, it's something that I have kept and I just update it every year and put it in a spreadsheet. I know other people have blog posts and stuff like that. I'm not at this point where I have a website to point everybody to, which is fine. If you have questions about it, I would love to hear your thoughts and just kind of have you thinking ahead. Is that as an Amazon influencer, you should be looking a couple months ahead at all times. Thank you so much for watching. I would love if you would obviously like and subscribe. Thanks so much.